I want to keep the breakdown a little bit shorter today, so we can get so I can answer some questions. I feel like some of the webinars got cut short. I'm trying to find like a balance, so I'm not spending too much time on the webinars, but I'm trying to give you guys as much value as I possibly can. Because again, life is about balance and everything, and I don't want to get to a point where I'm just feeling burnt out and not motivated to do webinars. So I'm still trying to balance. I want to spend my time answering questions today. But anyways, let's kind of get right into the webinar, the breakdown. So very interesting day in the markets yesterday. Gold played out very nicely. GJ also played out very nicely. Didn't take a trade on silver. So let's go over gold first and kind of what I spoke about yesterday. So pretty much yesterday on gold, one thing that I was speaking about was this 4-hour high. As long as price can actually maintain above this 4-hour high, we're going to most likely look to continue to go long, right? Now, if we break it down to a 30-minute time frame, price ended up coming right back down and breaking under this 30-minute support with a confirmation lower low here on this 30-minute time frame. One thing that I had said is pretty much what I would wait for price to break this area, pull back, retest, look for some form of resistance, and for price to go right back into the 1797, which price literally did that to the T, right? So here's the break of support, the pull back into resistance, the sell signal right here. You also have the cross on the moving averages, and then price went all the way down into 1797, which hopefully you guys were able to capitalize off of that move. That was a fairly large move, about 60 some pips to this point from the original target, and then price went all the way down 150 pips, which obviously I wasn't expecting it to do this, but it is an FP week and there is a lot of news this week. So you can kind of expect almost anything from an FP week. Right now, when it comes to what we could potentially see gold do next, is initially what I'm looking at is for gold to continue to go long. Price again rejected this area of support down here, closing right back above 1797. So I'm going to be looking for gold to actually travel up into 1813. What we can actually see here is a big reaction of price. Buyers came into the market and pushed price above 1797, closing back above support. So I'm going to be expecting price to actually continue to go long after a huge rejection to the downside like this. And again, really what I would like to see is for price to actually maintain above this box that I have here, which is this kind of 30-minute hour level of resistance. As long as price can do that, we should be able to see price go up to 1813. Once price starts to break under again, I'll look for that same formation we saw pretty much here yesterday, wait for the retest and look for price to go down into 1797. So that's kind of what I'm looking for and expecting from my analysis from price action, how I expect price action to play out tonight. I actually do see price going up to 1813, but again, things could definitely change. And all we have to do is simply adapt to the new market conditions. Again, if price breaks under, we start trading lower. I'll wait for the pullback, the retest, and look for price to travel back into 1797. So GJ was actually very, very interesting to see how it played out last night. GJ ended up breaking above the highs and going right to our projected area. Didn't give a clean break and retest setup, kind of like what we would normally expect. But what we can actually see here is GJ break above these 4-hour highs. We're then pulled back into these 4-hour highs and then continue to travel up to our target being our major level of support and resistance here on this 4-hour time frame. And we are now currently trading above this area where we had multiple trades taken from, I believe it was a few weeks ago. So anyways, when it comes down to GJ, I mean, you can see the break and retest set up here on this 30-minute time frame. You can see price break above the highs here, right? Pull back into the highs, retest, rejection, buy signal right here, and price fall all the way up to the targets over here. So what I'm going to be looking for with GJ for me to actually want to take a trade is for GJ to actually pull back into this level of support, where support could then be established yet again, and then I'll look to buy it back up until 156. 556 is pretty much what I would look for with GJ over the next few hours. Price already did kind of reject the first time over here, but this is only one rejection. I want to see price actually come back down into this area, consolidate for a little bit, give me some form of a rejection where I'll look to buy it back up to 156, 556. which we could expect roughly, let's say, a 40 pip move from this area. Obviously, if price breaks above 156,556, we can expect price to actually push higher into 157,100, which would be the next targeted area on GJ. And then last but not least, silver rejected, came all the way down into the daily low one more time, where we had a big bullish reaction out of this area. And we saw price continue to trade higher from this point on. We have a very nice double bottom formation here in this 4-hour time frame. So we could expect price to come back up to these highs to test that neckline. And again, in a case like silver, really what we would have to wait for at this point in time is just a standard pullback, probably back into support. Down here would be the nicest pullback. It's most likely not going to happen though, but we can then expect price to go on from here. So really nothing to do on silver as of right now. Again, we want to wait for that pullback. We could even wait and look to see if price can actually pull back into this area over here and kind of see what happens. If we break it down to a 30-minute time frame, you can see that this is a level of support and resistance, but really that's not a trade I would want to put risk behind. So I'm going to put my focus on gold and on GJ for the night. So anyways, you guys can unmute your mics now. If you guys have any questions, let me know.
Yo, how you doing, bro? Hey, would you be able to do a quick breakdown on Dow Jones?
On US 30, sure. So, so I mean, if we look at US 30 on this weekly time frame, what we could see is price actually reject this major area of support down here, and now it's actually kind of traded back up into this area of resistance where we do see some indecision over here as well. So price is rejecting weekly support and so far is forming some form of a bullish variation pattern, but we do have resistance in this area and that needs to be paid attention to. You go down to a daily time frame, you can see the daily is actually already rejecting this area. So this is kind of giving me already an inclination that there is selling pressure up here in this area. You go to a 4-hour time frame, it looks like price just broke above structure and now it's kind of trading at a 4-hour high and it's pulled back where it could potentially be a 4-hour higher low point. Really what I would like to see with US 30 here is for price to break above this area where we could then look to target something over here. So I'll look for a setup maybe somewhere along those lines, like a break and retest from a 30-minute time frame, mainly because of this 4-hour time frame. This is the first move up. This is the first impulse up, and this could be the first leg within a 3-leg extension here. So we could expect this second leg to form for the third one, possibly forming. And again, look at the way the moving averages across. Look at all this bullish momentum. I would like to see this bullish momentum actually maintain and continue to keep going up, especially if you look left, price has already rejected this level of support over here. So we could see US 30 come up into this area here. Again, I'm gonna, especially with, US 30, that's 500, NAS 100. I like to mainly follow the 4-hour trend and whatever the 4-hour trend is doing. So at this point in time, I wouldn't do anything unless I saw a break and a retest of this area where I'll look to buy it back up into this range over here.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yo, Raul.
What's up, bro?
Yo, so would you say that you spend a lot of hours every day, like on trading in general, like when it comes to journaling, backtesting and shit like that? Or do you just kind of just
backtesting? No. Trading and journaling, yes.
How many hours would you say you spend a day?
All night.
All night?
Yeah, like after this webinar, I mean, depending on how I feel in the next hour or two, I may trade, I may not trade tonight. I'll come back 2 a.m. and I'll be here till, I close my position.
I feel, and then mostly when you make mistakes, you see that it's like most of the time it's emotional or it's like technical, like let's say you miss something or.
Sometimes I'll make technical errors, and that just might be me putting in like a lazy analysis, or it's something like that's external, that's causing me to just kind of procrastinate in the charts and not really put like a full-fledged analysis in. And then, sometimes emotional, again, it all depends on the account. that I'm trading, you know, if I'm trying to do like a challenge where I'm trying to flip 25K into 100K, you know, I'm gonna know that I'm gonna be way more emotional at that point in time than, you know, trading on my normal account. So, you know, again, it's all very situational. Whatever the mistakes is that I could spot, at least I'll definitely write it off in my journal.
All right, for sure, bro. Hey, bro, I also messed with those little IG clips that you got on the IG. I rock with them, bro. They look clean.
Thanks, bro.
No problem.
Any
Yo,
other
Raul,
That's good, bro.
I got a question. To get bigger risk reward, it's necessary to trade more volatile pairs like gold, silver.
I mean, of course, the more volatile pair is, the bigger the moves that there's gonna be. I wouldn't necessarily say for a bigger risk to reward though. But what we could take into example is what happened with gold last night, right? If you would have taken a trade somewhere in this area here, right, with a stop loss above the zone and a take profit here, you know, you would have had a 2.6% or 2.3 or 2.6 risk reward on this single position, but then gold dropped way more than that, and you could have potentially made almost 6 times your risk, right? That's not very common with like other pairs like UJ or, you know, Euro USD. I mean, let's just do the following, right? Let's calculate this entire move from last night, from this point to this point, right? I'm gonna just literally copy this, Euro USD. Actually, this was an 170 pip move, right? Let's go to Euro USD. So an 170 pip move on gold was, or was it 170 pip move? I don't know what you're talking about. So if we look at it, so this move on gold, what it took here, so it's 1700 pips. Yeah, it's 170 pips. Someone correct me if I'm wrong here. Yeah, it's 170 pips, correct?
Yeah, you're right, fam. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, 170.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with me today. You go to Euro USD. So what a 170 pip move would have been on I don't know how to put this in the example. So pretty much what gold moved last night, Euro USD wasn't able to move. So an 170 pip move, the size of an 170 pip move on gold would have been the size of a 250 pip move on Euro USD. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's for me difficult because I trade UJ and sometimes GJ, and sometimes I trade GU. So GU is not very volatile pair because most of my trade has 1 to 1.5, no a bigger reward. I mean, do you understand?
Your risk reward ratios aren't that big.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, what type of setups are you taking?
I usually take my trade buy at the support and sell at the resistance, but I don't let the trade flow. I mean, I entered with a small position, almost 2 or 1 micro lot. So it's for me difficult to make it flow.
So what you're trying to get out is that your trades aren't a big risk to reward ratio of how you could potentially increase that.
I don't know. I mean, I would like to trade to get it in a trade and get almost 1 to 2 or 2 to 1. I don't know how to say, but if I'm risking, I mean, $5 gain $10 or almost
Yeah.
$15.
I think I would need to know a little bit more about your system. Because even if you would have taken like the example from gold last night, like this was 2 times your risk from, this point to this point, I mean, how big are your stop losses compared to your targets?
Yeah. And for me, it's difficult to trade gold because it's very tricky sometimes
For sure.
because I base my structure in 4 hours, and then when I'm going to get into a trade, I miss it or stop me out, and it's difficult to me to read the chart of gold. So I try to avoid. If I don't feel very comfortable of my trade, I don't take it.
Okay, and have you tried swing trading? Maybe looking for bigger risk reward there?
Yeah, I usually do that because in DJ, sorry, most of the target are large. So I close partial of my position and let it the rest run. And sometimes take profit. I don't know, got my test profit, but sometimes close break even because I trying to get to don't risk too much when I'm swing trading, because most of the time in the morning, I don't know, in the Asia session, the pairs going very tricky. I don't know, go take me out the position and then go off my
Well,
initial target.
what session do you normally trade?
London and not too much New York session.
So what you're saying is you get stopped out during Asian session on a position you were already entered prior. like that.
Yeah. Most of the time when I am turning the New York session, I got stopped out in the Asia session. I don't know why. So I avoid to trade New York session most of the time.
Have you tried only trading London session? Or
Yeah.
work session and closing your positions if it gets too late?
And sometimes I close it in before the market close. I mean, I live in Spain, so market close here at 11 o'clock
Okay,
p.m. So I trying to close the position before, or if I got, I don't know, 20 pips, 30 pips, 30 pips, sorry, of profit, I put break even. If I don't see if the microstructure has broken yet, so I let it run. But I try to avoid swing trading because I don't know, I don't like it too much.
okay. I would really like you to DM me some of the last few trades that you've taken, send it to me on Discord so I could review it after the webinar, because I'd like to see what type of setups you're taking, because I mean, I don't struggle at all finding 2-to-1 risk reward ratio trades. And if that's the case, and maybe you're just being counterproductive with your stop losses, that could be the case. If using maybe too big of a stop, that's more than necessary. I would really just have to see some of the trades that you've taken.
Yeah, for
Give you
sure.
better feedback for sure.
For sure, man. Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Oh,
Make sure you send those over to me. Yeah, bro, what's up?
yeah, what's up? So if I wanted to take a trade, do I need like to wait for a 4-hour rejection or a bearish sign from the 4-hour?
No, you don't have to. But again, like it's very in a situation where we're trading price action, it's very situational. There are times where I like to wait for the 4-hour signal to actually close. And there are times where I don't. I'll just take a trade based off a 30-minute time frame.
Yeah, because I realized if I wait for the 4-hour, like
Yeah.
my trade have more probability to win,
If you wait for the 4-hour,
Yeah, to close.
yeah, of course, because it's a stronger sell signal or it's a stronger buy signal. But then there's gonna be times where you don't take a trade, like last time on GJ. If you'd have waited for a 4-hour pullback into the zone and then a 4-hour confirmation and close, by that time GJ's already up here, you would have missed out. Right, so again, it's very situational. If you would have taken a trade off the 4-hour here, you would have had a pretty late entry instead of taking a trade potentially in this area here or this area.
No, I mean, look, in that situation I was explaining right now, you see the 4 hour like get like above resistance and go under it and close under the resistance. You see?
This one,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. You see? So do I need to wait for that 4 hour to close? The one that closed literally below resistance?
The thing is, you don't have to wait for the 4 hour to close, no, because again, we're looking for the overall general concept of we need to see price maintain itself under this area. The only times I'll wait for the 4 hour close, because typically we'll see a rejection earlier, like on a 30-minute time frame, on an hour time frame, right? Or you could look for like a double top or something along these lines, right? When you do wait for that 4 hour close, though, again, it's all up to you. If you want to wait for the 4 hour close and you're more comfortable with that, and you'd rather take less trades, then yeah, wait for the 4 hour close. In a situation, like this one over here, waiting for the 4 hour close would have definitely been beneficial. You always have to wait for that 4 hour 1 a.m. close regardless, right? Before looking to actually even take a position. But sometimes when you wait for the signal, you're going to be very late. Like, times like this, right? You have the 4 hour close, like, instead of actually looking to take an aggressive sell on like a 30-minute time frame, an hour time frame, right? But then, there's more confirmation to that 4 hour time frame. You could always just wait for the pullback, right? Again, there's pros and cons to everything in the markets and how you trade. You just got to differentiate and, weigh out the pros and cons and see, what suits your personality better.
Yo,
Thanks.
bro,
Yeah.
what tips do you got for someone that has a counterproductive stop loss?
Honestly, bro, you just got to play with it in your journal. It's all about trial and error. Trading is a game of trial and error.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
So couple of days ago, right? I was in a GJ trade like 2 o'clock in the morning with me and my homie. And I was having for like 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, right? And I said I was really tired because I got a long day of work and shit like that. So when the reward reached a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, I put the stop loss to break even and went to bed, and I wake up the next morning like 6, 7, 8 a.m. And the price come way back in the break even and shoot all the way back up. What you think I should do? Do you think I should leave the stop loss open until the trade play out?
Again, it's very situational. There are times where I'll move my stop loss to break even after a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. There's times where I'm really targeting that 1-to-2. It really comes down to, at the end of the day, is what type of risk to reward ratio are you seeking? But at the end of the day, there's going to be times where it's like that. It's going to happen. There's going to be times where you move your stops to break even and you get taken out at break even. There's going to be times where you move your stops to break even and price hits your break even stop, but goes directly to your stop loss, what would have been your stop loss. So again, it comes down to pros and cons. Personally, when I'm targeting a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, I try and hold it through to that 2-to-1 ratio, risk to reward ratio as best as I possibly can.
I appreciate it, bro. Thanks.
Yo,
Yo.
Raul, what's up? Yeah, go ahead.
Can you go over GU?
Sure. I mean, I don't see anything on GU, to be honest with you. Like, there's no real setup that I would see, because GU has just been very bullish, and these aren't really conditions that I would like to even trade, if I'm going to be honest with you. So I really don't see anything on GU other than the fact, like, if you go to this hour time frame, right, you have previous market structure highs over here. I would wait for price to come in back into these structure highs where you look to buy along with the trend. Maybe look for some form of an extension. So you could even pull a fib from the lowest point to the highest point price reached. And let's just say price would pull back into this level of structure. You could probably target again the 0 and the -27 for an extension higher. But again, I would like to see this. I wouldn't take a trade that looked like this. But I would mainly look to take a trade that kind of looks something like this.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yo, Raul, what's up?
So, bro.
All right, can you go back to gold real quick? I want to replay last night.
Yeah.
So I noticed that 30-minute candle, after it retested that level, that it closed like pretty huge. Would you get in before the close of that candle once you've seen it like break the low of the previous candle?
Yeah, if you go to this 15-minute time frame where you can see the rejection here and then another rejection here, I would have gone in this area here if you wanted to trade it aggressive. If you wanted to be conservative, you could have waited for the 30-minute candlestick.
Because I did wait for like the 30-minute, and then I looked at my risk to reward, and it was just trash. So I was like, I don't know if I should even take this anymore.
Yeah, typically what I'll do is I'll wait for like the break of the previous candle's low.
All right, cool.
I'll jump down a 15-minute time frame and see, what the 15-minute looks like.
Yeah, I was looking for like an engulfing on the 15-minute, but it didn't really give one either. It was like,
I didn't, yeah, I gave this
Yeah.
variation.
yeah, all right, thanks, man.
Yeah,
In that scenario, where would you put your stop loss?
above, right here. Because if you put it here, I mean, that's pretty tight. I like to put it up kind of above the zone a little bit.
All right, thanks.
Raul?
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
Yo, Raul, could you show me how you like trail your stop losses? Like what you look for before like each TP, like to either move your stop loss to TP or break even?
so, I don't really trail my stop losses too often unless like I'm looking for like a really big move, probably above like a 3-to-1, 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. But let's just say I were to take this position here on GJ, right? And price had gone all the way down to my target and I'm up 3 times my risk. What I would have done at this point in time, once price was actually starting to break under this support level, what I would have done is just move my stop loss per risk to reward ratio. So I'm at a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I'm up right now. I'd move it to a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I'm up 4 times my risk. I'd move my stop loss to 3 times my risk. I'm up 5 times my risk. I'd move my stop loss up to 4 times my risk. I'm up 6 times my risk. I move my stop loss up to 5 times my risk. That's how I move. That's how I typically do it.
Yeah, for a 1 or 2 risk to reward, like it's better to just have it set, but for like a big move that happens fast like that, I think it's like pretty not necessary, but like in most cases, like it's really good to trail it.
Yeah, for sure. Because you don't want to get too greedy. Because imagine if you would have held this, you'd be like, yeah, gold's gonna keep dropping. You wake up and your stop loss actually got hit. You lost money, right? It really helps with cutting greed.
Yeah. And but like let's say you're going for your 3rd take profit, do you set your stop loss to your 2nd take profit?
I probably, again, it depends on the risk to reward ratio. Let's say my 3rd take profit's a 3-to-1. I'll set my stop loss. I got a 1 to 1.5, just to give price a little bit of breathing room if I'm gonna go to sleep or something.
Yeah, there's been like
It depends on structure too.
yeah. All right, thank you, bro.
Yeah, because if you're being really aggressive with it, you could trail it based off like 15-minute structure.
Yeah.
Raul?
Yeah,
I have a question regarding UJ last night. Are you able to pull it up really quick?
sure.
For UJ, I saw on the weekly that it was bullish, on the daily that it was bullish, I believe. And I did a fib on the daily. And I took a entry like around, I think it was like around 10:30 last night.
You did a fib
Do you think
right here
on the daily? I
from
think.
this point to this point.
I believe, yeah, I believe so. Well, no, it would have been like around last night. So in London session. So I think on the daily it was. Yeah, I think it was on the daily.
So where
Are you able to do a fib right there?
Yeah, I would put a fib from. So notice market structure. We have a high, we have a low, a lower high, lower low, then we have a low, then we have a higher high. At that point in time, the fibs need to flip. So I will put my fib from this low to this high here.
Did it retrace the 618?
Yes.
Okay. So would that have been a good setup to enter in like around London session, like maybe right at the open on the 30-minute?
It's like right here.
Say that again.
That's like right here.
Or I think I entered at 60, so I think it was 114.60, if I'm not mistaken.
Like right here?
Hold on. What time was that? Yeah. Mhm. I think I entered a little bit too late, actually. I should have entered when it retested on the 30-minute. I don't know, but do you think it was an okay setup? And also, I wanted to know what would have been a good take profit one, because this morning when I woke up, it kind of stopped around 114.90
I
or
mean,
900.
the best. Let me go to this. The best setup would have been once price pulled back into the 618, rejected it and rejected this level of support over here. At that point in time, immediately, you should have been looking to go long, right? You go to a 30-minute time frame and you see the double bottom pattern actually form here. This is where the major rejection actually is. So you could have looked at taking a trade from anywhere between this area to this area up here. I personally wouldn't have taken it. I mean, the thing is, you have.
Was there also a falling wedge on the 4-hour?
A falling wedge, like
Yeah, like downtrend and then a breakout to the upside.
like a pattern like this.
Like you see the downtrend right before it broke up.
I don't know. I don't really trade wedges.
Okay.
I personally don't think I would have taken that position because, like, where did you place your stop loss? Because my thing is with taking this position is there's no like established support or resistance level. It looked like it worked out very well for you. But again, like there's no like established level of support or resistance. So you don't know where to properly, unless like you're like, okay, well, we have support down here, right? What I'm going to do is, just kind of enter the market here now that it's trading above support and
Right.
just kind of wait and see what happens. And that's a different story. But again, like, it's like, I would have personally waited for price to do this.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was waiting for, and it didn't do that.
Yeah, and that's gonna happen at times,
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I got your question answered. Yeah.
So, do you consider there is a reversal of a
Can you say
trend? When do you consider there is a reversal of a trend?
When we start seeing, a new 3-leg extension, when the daily actually starts breaking like higher high points, like once the daily on this time frame here started to break above and close above these two highs here, that's when, I consider a reversal in the actual trend itself. Right? When you hit a major level of support or resistance, you could expect a reversal. Like there's a few things that go into it.
Okay, thank you.
Yo, Raul, had a question with trading stocks, bro.
Yeah.
Would you say it's efficient? Because this is the issue that I'm having, right? There's sometimes, like, you say it's very situational. Would you say it would be efficient? Like, let's say we're working off the 4-hour. Would it be efficient? Like, if there's structure, would you trail your stops off the M30? Like, use that as the lower time frame or no?
You could. It'll definitely be very aggressive because, like, 4-hour structure is 4-hour structure, right? And you should trail if you're trading based off the 4-hour, you need to trail your stops based off these 4-hour structure, because M30 structure will always, break and then continue not in the same direction as a trend, right? Because this is just a steeper pullback for the 4-hour time frame. So if you would have trailed your stops here from a buy that's right here, you would have seen the break, which is just a pullback on the 4-hour, and then price continue in your favor. So you always got to off the 4-hour.
Okay, I see. And when it comes to, like, let's say you're trading off of, like, I don't know, like maybe the 1-hour, and there's like no structure, would it be efficient to kind of trail it like how you trail it? Like if it goes to a 2-to-1, move it to 1-to-1, or would you say that would be the best? Or
you could try it out and see how it works out for you. That's just what I do.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Anybody else got any questions? There's like a meeting left. There's like a minute.
Yeah, I have a question real quick. If it,
yeah,
whatever. On the entry signals and candle video, when you go over it, usually go on the 4-hour with the engulfing and variations, but that still applies for the 30-minute time and the 15-minute, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
All right, so the last 2 webinars, I'm gonna make sure they're back up on the course because I saw some people talking about it. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna end this recording now.